Fiddler Abdi, Danny Boy here, and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2 on the UK map. And yes, the title is correct, we're only in episode 108, but we're going to do a drive-by in this episode, because I've upgraded everything, and then everything you will get between 1951 and 1960, we are going to make into new stuff, new lines, new freight lines, new passenger lines, etc, etc. So we're going to get rolling. It should mean that when we go next, we'll be keeping a lot of the cool steam trains, etc, because most of them still kept on rolling, even though diesel and electric trains became sort of prominent at this sort of time. A lot of the steam trains still ran, so they were still pretty good. So here we go. We're at Tidfall just now, and instead of jumping on like a really long intercity route, I've decided to jump on some of the little express routes and some of the trains. So this is like a 4MT, I think. Yeah, 4MT 460. It is heading from, well, we'll push pause. It's heading from Tidfall to Newport. So there should be lots of other trains to look at. This one is actually the worst of right, hold on, since I'm here I'm gonna do this just now. That's like a brake wagon. Yeah, let's cut it down to 3, modify, we'll get some money back. It's slightly smaller, but it's still got the capacity it needs, and we might make a bit more money. Push pause again, because we need to set the date time speed up. We push play once more, the date starts rolling, and we'll jump on board with the train on its downward journey to Newport. I selected the downward journey because, well, the upward journey could be slow and tedious, even though this is a sort of decent train. 80 miles per hour, 85 miles per hour, actually. Don't know if it'll get up to that speed. I mean, she's doing 35 and she's barely even left the station, which is pretty good. We're getting 40 frames, but we are getting that weird stutter lag thing. Too many mods installed, one would imagine. So off she goes. There should be some cool coal trains and iron ore trains, some Great Westerns in BR livery, so that's kind of cool. After this we're going to jump on with one of the Class 9Fs. Or is it the Class 7? The Class 7. The 9F appears, I think, in 1962. And I have a route for that exact train that we will get. Right, so we're heading past the signal, already doing 56. We've got our normal speed. If we do it 3 times speed, it sort of gets worse. Right, just go normal. I mean, there's not much here. There are trees. This is one area of the map that actually has trees. Hallelujah. We do like the trees. They are frame and CPU killers, rendering in all the trees. So this is one area of the map that actually does have trees. I think there's some trees up in Scotland, and apart from that, the map is pretty bare. England, Scotland, and Wales faced some drastic deforestation when the 1850s rolled round. Right, so there is absolutely no trains heading up towards Tidfall to collect coal or passengers, and there's nothing on the way down, which leads me to suspect, because I do see a train, or the end of a train, in the back of the tunnel, it leads me to believe that there is some sort of major malfunction happening up ahead. There's some sort of traffic jam on the go. Now, we don't normally inspect and fix stuff during drive-bys, but this is going to halt the train, so maybe picking this train was a bad idea. Oh no, the other train in front is now moving. I don't know what exactly other train in front is. I'm going to assume with a decent certainty that it's a coal train. But that means that all 3 current coal trains that run from Newport to Tidfall are somewhere in the line in front of us. Now, if this signal up here changes to a through signal, it did. Well, that's pretty miraculous. Unless the train in front of us was the Wrexham to Tidfall express train, and in which case it should have ducked off the line somewhere to the left and we'll be heading to the right. I am on the right train, am I? Yes. Yeah, now we're stuck. No, because here it is there. So somewhere round this right hand turn, there we go. It's still got the Great Western wagons, but I quite like them. Yeah, so we'll get through this signal, but we won't get through the next one. I don't think. I think we're going to be stuck. Hopefully it'll pop us out somewhere into daylight, and we can sort of figure out. Right, there's one of the coal trains. So that's kind of a relief. That's one of many trains eliminated. Right, it is moving because the other train has already raced on by. You've still got your Great Western wagons, but you've still been upgraded to BR liveried loco. So half the battle, small victories. Now we are progressing on to 1960. I am slightly concerned that there may not be sort of goods vehicles, specifically a boxcar, a British boxcar, that holds not just 4 things, it holds everything. That's something that I'm slightly worried is not going to appear sometime between here. I'm really hoping that there is. I don't want to use the German boxcars, but because of a severe lack of options, we may have to, and they look kind of stupid in sort of retrospect to the other trains that we've got. I do know, because I've accidentally skipped forward a year, that a British state car or flat car that carries steel, and that was actually used quite prominently in the steel industry, will appear either this year, I think it's the 1962. Right, weirdly we're getting a clear run at this. There we go, lots of stuff cruising past. Some more BR trains with Great Western livery, trucks. This is a nice, pleasant little ride. I quite like this. I'm only happy because the train is not completely bogged down in traffic. But the coal trains do split off to the right. And the only thing that can really get in our way is a steel train. And the steel train just passed us on the left hand side. And we've got an intercity here. I think I kept these in Great Western livery. Yes, I did. Which some people might find offensive. I like them, so I'm going to keep them. We're currently blistering on at 75 miles per hour. Doesn't look like that, especially with the weird stutter and lag that we're getting. I'm kind of hoping when I do the next playthrough I can sort of find something to combat that. I do believe it is to do with a mod. I think I know which mod it is. I thought it was a mod I couldn't live without, but I may have to eliminate it in the next playthrough. There we go, some BR livery G4. Well, it's just a G4 painted in black. They obviously, because it was used for freight, thought, why should we put the logo on the side of it? That's a waste of money. It's just going to get dirty and wrecked anyway, because it's a freight train. Now we've stopped. Probably because there's a steel train in the station. Will we wait for said steel train to go? Or will we call it quits on this run? There's a coal train running past. Very nice. It still looks relatively clean. These trains are basically relatively new for the moment. Yeah, this steel train, once this steel... Oh my god, that coal train on the right hand side is beating us now. That sucks. Yeah, once this thing on the left hand side here has cleared the junction in front of us. We should be able to, let's say, proceed as normal. Perhaps. Maybe. There we go. They're sporting their BR liveries. I mean, I can actually get really... Yeah, British Railways. You're still running the old state cars for reasons. Because when we added the new state cars, because the new state cars are so long, they didn't actually give us any more capacity. Because the train had to be... We couldn't add enough long ones to give us a longer capacity. Is that right? I think that was something I tried with this train, and it was not to be. As you can see... Oh, look, there's something on the left. I think that's the Gloucester and Newport train. One would imagine. There's the steel mill. The steel mill actually looks pretty huge when you look at it from the ground, which is interesting. But here we go. We're going to roll through this freight station. It looks like these coal trains on the right hand side could potentially be slightly bigger as well. But I think they're that size due to the size of the station up at Tidfold. I don't think it is 320 odd metres up there. I've got a little brakeman dude sitting in his brake van. His towed brake van. Right, very nice. Heading through here. Newport is just in sight. Another thing I'm worried about as well is we don't get any sort of new age hopper wagons. Right, because that's something that we have a lot of, but not sort of newer ones as time progresses. Which is kind of odd, but hey-ho. I mean, the boxcars we've got, the ones off the Steam Workshop, are awesome for what they do, for what they carry, but they only carry 4 or 5 things. So, if they carried all sort of dry goods, that would be amazing. Even if they carried milk and alcohol, maybe not milk. It'd be cool to see some sort of reefer, refrigerated wagon on the Steam Workshop. Now, I know that you do, or at least for Transport Fever 1, you did get reefer wagons for the Russian trains. Which makes sense, really. Because some goods have to go chilled or frozen. Obviously, refrigeration was not a thing that really happened in the 1850s. You just sort of had... The things were kept like outside or underground where it was cold. Having large refrigerators and AC units and stuff wasn't really a thing. But here we are at Newport. There's another train there. That's the Newport to Bristol train. It just pops right around across the river. So let's push escape. See where we are. Right, we're into October of 1852. We've got some new stuff. A Princess Royal. Now, oh, and we've got these British Rail Blue little shunter wagons. They're pretty cool. Right, let's find another. Well, I suppose, since this is going... Nah, we'll pick something else. Maybe this train that goes up to Gloucester. Do you go to Gloucester? You do. Gloucester, Newport, and then we can pick another train from there. Right, let's jump on board with you then. You will have to load your passengers quite quickly, if possible. Right, where am I? I'm sort of squint. Or do we go for like a different view for this? I'm sure we could adjust the camera. Maybe go for like a cab side view. Okay, it's turned. It's heading out. Yeah, above the train view. Now we're probably not going to see anything due to smoke related issues, but it doesn't look too bad. What would be really cool is if these gauges worked. There's a little fire there. That's pretty cool that they've actually got that modelled. What's the big handle for again? Is that for brakes? Or is it for like steam shut off? Yeah, you see the light's gone off now that it's sort of gotten up to steam. That's pretty cool. Right, so off we go. There's our train on the left. In fact, we'll bring it... How do we go down? We'll bring it down. Or do we do a... Now it sort of blocks our view. How do I go forward again? What the hell am I doing? X. Yeah, like a boiler side view. Yes, go down. Boiler side view. There we go. Some pretty good camera skills there. Not as good as the Colonel. Old Colonel Failure's got the camera and drive-by angles down a T. The so-called drone cam. I noticed the Colonel's got a new series coming up. Watched the first episode. It looks pretty cool. Looking forward to seeing what he does with the rest of the Peninsula map. I noticed, like, he was saying that when he imported the map, the height map. I've been doing a lot of height maps lately. Sort of researching stuff for the next playthrough. And he is correct. I mean, over here, down in England, is not so bad. Maybe back the way behind us in Wales, you would probably see it. Definitely up in Scotland, where there's a lot of, like, jagged terrain. The mountains don't appear as mountains. They sort of appear as, like, really high lumps. Some of them have the rock texture. Some of them just have the grass. But yet, when you import a height map, and it's like that, when you first upload it into Transport Fever, it does look like absolute hell on earth. There are those out there who have been able to master the terrain tools and make mountains that look like actual mountains, with trees around the sides, snow on the top, etc. I am not one of those people. It is something I'd like to be good at, to make, like, the next playthrough map, or maps that I do, look kind of cool. So I'm going to have to go on some sort of crash course, or spend a lot of time experimenting with terrain tools to sort of make things look as is. Or I may just make relatively flat maps with most of the hills smoothed over, and then maybe just add one or two of the prominent mountain ranges, like, what's the name of the mountain in Wales? I've totally forgot. Mount Snowdon. The mountains in Scotland, maybe the mountains at the Lake District. Maybe just add in a few prominent ones here and there that everybody knows, and then just sort of smooth out the rest of the map. And then if I do an American map, I'm going to have to do the same. Like, there's the Colorado, the Rockies, etc. If we do Chinese or Japanese maps, they're the same. Russia, same. Most places in Europe, the Alps, etc, etc. But I have something on mind, but we've still got a lot of this to go. We're only going to be in 1960, and we've got to go to 2020. So that's 60 odd years with roughly 10 episodes. Yeah, so 60 more episodes or something. Is that right? Am I right? 1969 is roughly 50 or 60 or so episodes. Right, I see a hideous part of track in front of me, which is okay. You should be able to go, right? What are we waiting for? There's go now. Go before that coal train. Actually, the coal train hangs on the track on the left, so we're all good on the coal train front. I can see the black rick of smoke. Yep, see this here. See that part of track? We're just going to roll over where the ballast is over the track. Horrible. Horrible stuff. I wish there was a way, some sort of tool you could get to eliminate that. That would be awesome. There's a train heading the other way though. It's not far to Gloucester. In fact, it's Gloucester on the left, is it? Yes. No? Yes. So it doesn't actually have far to go. There's another coal train on the left. This train is actually struggling to get up to speed. I could eliminate a wagon from it. 50 of 63. To make it easier, perhaps. Yeah, there's a coal train, double-headered. Southeastern livery wagon, so it's probably came from Chippenham coal. And there's one of its counterparts passing us on the left, which means this train will be stuck at this junction until both of them pass. I would love, like, even though, for those of you who have watched the Workers and Resources Soviet Republic playthrough, trains there are kind of a nightmare when you start, until you sort of get used to it. You get used to how the signals and semaphores work, and then you can sort of paint a picture on your mind of when you build track and you play signals, how trains are going to work and how they're going to react when they approach those signals and junctions, or if they're going to get stuck in certain parts of track, etc, etc. But what I would love is the same sort of thing here, like what's the name, so like chain signals. So if there's something in the junction, the train obviously can't go. If there's nothing there but there is something further on, it should be able to go. I mean, signal system in Transport Fever is pretty good. It's pretty decent, actually, this, I'm not going to lie. What I really would like, though, is an option to say, click on a signal and say, right, if there is a passenger train coming through, can it have right of way before a freight train goes through? That's something that I would like. Because freight trains, even if they face delays, they lose slight bits of money. But they often carry so much that when they reach the other side and dump their load, they make heaps of money. So delays are bad, but not as bad as they are for passenger trains. But this one is almost here. There we go. There's Gloucester on the left. This one that was just in front of us with the Gresley coaches has actually made it in and made it out before we've even got there. Ah, you're running something else. You're coming from Oxford. Yes. Right, there's the Gresley wagons. Quite like the boiler view. The boiler view was pretty cool. Next time we can go with, that's S to go down, wheel view. Oh, that's creepy. Which means we would see absolutely nothing on the left hand side, but tons of stuff on the right hand side. But here she is rolling into Gloucester, finally. Ooh, wait, I can't actually see what's happening. There you go, back to boiler side view. Right, there is a train in there. Train that goes to Birmingham. That's just a little short hop. I say short. That train gets stuck in traffic about 90% of the time. The one I was sort of looking for was the BR Fell. The diesel. The diesel we've got running up to Oxford. I would have loved to have jumped on that. It's not here though, presently. It might be Oxford. There we go, rolling in. Whatever this line is on the left hand side, there's a ridiculous amount of people waiting for it. Like, ridiculous. Why are there so many people waiting on platforms 4 and 5? Right, push escape. Have we passed into another year? We have 1953 and 1954. So we've got 4 new vehicles, Volvos, We've got a Mercedes-Benz bus. We've got the Class 9F and the 9F Evening Star. And we've got a couple of electrics. And the NOHAB, which we're not going to use. Because, well, it ain't for us. Well, here we are in Gloucester. Now, Gloucester to Oxford. Where are you? You're heading for Oxford. Yes, I was going to say it's almost there. That is not entirely true. It's still quite a distance away. So we'll leave that for a moment. We'll go and look at some of the newer stuff that we have unlocked. Buy vehicles. Let's go to Steam first. Going down. Some of these will disappear. This one, 1961. Nah, that one will stay actually. 1955. This one's going to go next year. Right, the Princess Royal. But what? Yeah, with a Princess Royal in blue. Peppercorn A1. And the rest was like... the Duchesses have gone. Okay, so we've got Princess Royal in green that we can add to a line. The Class 9F in 2 variants. The Standard Class 9F is the last of the British Rail Standard classes, designed for fast, heavy freight over long distances. It was one of the most powerful steam locomotives ever built in Britain. 251 were built between 1954 to 1960, but with the end of steam already on the horizon, they were short-lived, some serving for just 5 years. The Evening Star was the last steam locomotive built for British Rail and was already earmarked for preservation before it was built, and survives today with 8 others of its class. That's good. It's good that people actually knew that these trains were going to be sort of iconic and decided to keep them and preserve them so that future generations can see. Like, I've been on a few steam trains, some of the historic ones, and they're pretty cool. So it's good that like these rail preservation societies actually came in and saved some of them. Some of them were pulled from the brink of destruction and rebuilt. Some of them were completely built from scratch. I think one of the Flying Scotsmans was completely rebuilt from the ground up. I think. I may be wrong. I'm not sure which one it was. I think it was a Top Gear episode with the one, like the National Lottery funded it or something. Who knows? But the most interesting thing is probably this as well. The Class 76 electrical locomotive. So we don't know what you were actually built for. So I'll Google it. You've got 1,000 kilowatts power though. Yes, diesels. These things. There we go. Black and red eagle. That's cool. So these are obviously little shunter yard engines. I'm sure we can find little dainty routes for them somewhere or other. Passengers. I don't think we've got any passenger wagons. No, we're still good. 8 variants. Maroon, plum spelt milk, chocolate, custard, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Cargo. Head down. Yep, we're all good on this front as well. No boxcar yet. That's upsetting. Some of the older stuff disappeared. This ran until 1980. That's a long time. So did this. That's a long time. 1960. So you'll go. See, they don't carry the things. One thing I've not actually done yet is tools. We will get tools up and running. So the only thing is this. By the International Union of Railways. But that's German. This is probably German as well. This, most definitely. Because we use sort of shorter ones in the UK. These are different as well. These, I know, are completely different. Although tank cars do look really similar. No matter, like these ones sort of look like the American ones. The British ones we had smaller, like chubbier ones, but then we did have longer ones later on. So there you have it. Right, let's go and see if this train has made it to Oxford yet. I'm gonna say no. In fact, where is it? Holy crap, it's all the way down there. Right, so we'll jump on board with our fell. There we go, there's something. It's a Royal Scot. with 11 people on board. Good for you. Now I'm going to use the class. In fact, there's a class 7 on the London to Glasgow main line. I'm going to remove that class 7. We're going to put in that Princess Royal, and then we are going to create its own route, a route from Newcastle to Carlisle, and stick the class 7 on it. We're going to get some heavier, longer distance freight trains, and we'll throw some class 9Fs on it. And then we need to find some new stuff for the electrics that we just got, and for anything else that sort of pops up in the near future. But this thing is so weird, this sort of square front section that we've got here. This train does quite well, right? Yeah, 84 of 84. Look at it, it's awesome. Sweet little train, that. It's like a steam diesel. Who the hell knows? It looks cool though. These are so weird. But we'll be getting more diesels quite shortly. So here we go. August of 1954. That's pretty sweet. We didn't look at the Volvo wagons. I don't think... Was there a new plane? Don't know. There probably will be. Definitely going to be a new plane round about 1960s time, I would imagine. That was one thing I wanted to do in these episodes, was create some longer air routes, but it's something I'll do in 1960. I think we even might get the larger passenger platforms as well. So this is unloading. While it's unloading, we shall go and then back. Yeah. Get like a... Right. Before the smoke, though. Yeah. Go down. There we go. A ride on the roof of the first diesel. Nice. There we go. Perfect camera view there. Or do we do like a cab view? Can you actually do a cab view? Let's just... Okay, cab view's a bit... The guy's actually got a steering wheel. It's like he's driving a car. Right, if I go forward a touch... Oh no, that's... Well, we've got bonnet view. But I like this one, roof view. There we go. And we're off. Right, short little trip. Oxford to Gloucester. One thing I need to do as well, but I was going to do it in the last episode, was actually keep some trains in consist for heritage lines in the future. But it's okay, because I have a workaround. We are gonna... What I'll do is, when the time comes to build them, we'll just bring the date year back to the time that they were released, and then we'll select them all and get them stored into a depot. And then we shall create a heritage line. I would like one that sort of goes like on a loop all the way around the UK. That would be kinda interesting. It's something we would do right at the very end. Have the heritage lines on the go. I mean, I could put them on like the Harry Potter train, and because I think that's the Harry Potter train's a Royal Scot, right? I'm pretty sure. There's also the Tornado as well, but I can't remember what type of train the Tornado actually is. I do have my phone at hand. I've not ridden on that heritage line, but I have seen it at Edinburgh train station. And I've seen it at Aberdeen train station as well. Or was that the one I saw at Aberdeen? I can't remember. I definitely saw it at Edinburgh though. Right, hold on. Let's just check this quickly since we're here. So, the Tornado steam train. Tornado steam train, steam locomotive. coal-fired, was it? A Class A1, a peppercorn. Yeah. Tornado is a mainline coal-fired steam locomotive built in Darlington, County Durham, England. Completed in 2008, Tornado was the first such locomotive built in the United Kingdom since Evening Star, which was the Class 9. The last steam locomotive built by British Railways in 1960. So that was the first one that was rebuilt. That's pretty cool. Without proper preservation, the locomotive's namesake is the Panaveen Tornado, which is a fighter jet for the Royal Air Force that is now obsolete. Yeah, so why were you in Edinburgh though? I don't know, but that's pretty cool. The Tornado was a peppercorn. Right, so we're heading off. There's a steam train on the left carrying iron ore up to Newport. These things are pretty cool as well. This thing does not struggle to get up to speed at all. It's actually quite fleet for a diesel. Now, weirdly in the UK, diesels get slower and not faster. I suppose more of an emphasis, a bit like the Americans, more emphasis on power and the ability to haul ridiculous consists with a huge amount of weight behind it over long distances, rather than smaller consists but at a higher speed. More is obviously better. Right, it's up to 66 though. Oh, this might be a bit strange going into this tunnel. Is this going to like clip through the roof of the tunnel? We are about to find out. You've seen it here first. Science. Transport Fever science. There is a lot of science you can do in Transport Fever. There's a lot of things you can sort of figure out just by testing and sort of nitpicking stuff in game. Like the roads. I'm no longer triggered by trucks that don't make left or right hand turns, because I now know why they don't do that. And even though the reason why they don't do that annoys me severely, it's just one of those things we have to live with. It's something I've learned to live with. But it's just a game. You have to remember that. It's not real life. However, the only other issue I can really find with this game is the fact that you need to phone up NASA to borrow their supercomputers to have it run smoothly every now and again. I mean, I am thinking, I did mention in the last episode that I was thinking about getting a new computer. Now, this new computer would be the sort of like the bee's knees. Probably an i9. Is it the i9 1090? What is it? That's just CPU wise. So here's what I was thinking for new build. It may not. Or is it the 9900? What's the best one? Yeah, the 10,900. No, that's not the best one. Maybe it is. I mean, that alone is like 550, 600 quid. Right there. And then probably 3080 graphics card. Although I did see in some news articles that Nvidia obviously did not go through the process of making a hell of a lot of them, and then sort of sales were wiped out. I did see an article about sort of touters buying them up and then selling them for like £1 million on eBay. I mean, yes, it would be great to have one, but who the hell is going to pay £1 million for a GPU? They're obviously going to make more. I mean, patience should obviously outweigh stupidity. I mean, if you've got £1 million just spare that you don't need, and you desperately need a 3080, by all means, But you've basically made one idiot, one of those idiots that goes out and buys stuff and then sells it for extortionate prices, and then the normal working man can't get a hold of it, and then ends up paying a fortune to get it from someone else. Like, stuff like that should be illegal. Those people should be jailed or put in some sort of mental asylum, because who the hell is going to pay £1 million for a GPU? No one. Unless someone has bought it, and then them themselves may need to seek mental help. So, yeah, when I was going through, I did a little experiment last night, and I went through the entire build of the computer, what I wanted, how much it would cost, etc. And then that's when I seen that the GPUs were very poorly stocked. But yeah, so new computer may be on the horizon. I have discussed it with my other half. She's sort of okay. So we'll get to more of that. However, we are in 1855. So nothing came available in 55. Nothing new to report there. Right, let's go and find something else to jump onto. Now, I do have a Class 9. I mean, I could jump on this. Did we jump on this before in a previous episode? We'll see what it is. It's our only electric train currently at the moment. This we're probably going to replace first, because this was an experimental train, I think. I think they used it a couple of times and realised it wasn't really viable, so they sort of got rid of it. I mean, in the actual workshop, the depot, it's not there anymore. It's gone. It's only there for like a year, and then it disappears. How fast are these? 65. So this thing here, it's actually faster. No, it's 65 as well. So we may replace that. I don't know where I'm going to start implementing electric trains first. I'll maybe do a bit of studying and see where they actually went. This one runs just fine. It's maybe a bit large, but hey-ho. Right, however, I was looking for... I've got a Class 7. Yeah, Edinburgh and Newcastle. Right, it's almost at Newcastle. We'll jump on board with it. It's got 100 of 100 on board. Beautiful train, the Class 7. Class 9's equally as nice. I mean, having a train like the Class 9 run freight, that's something else like. I mean, even by today's standards, it seems rather excessive to have a train as fast and powerful as that, just built for freight. I mean, it probably pulled passenger consist as well, one would imagine. There we go. We're about to pop into a new year though. 19... Hey, there's the PNA flat. Right, I actually want to study this, and we'll do that while this train is waiting. Cargo, you should be down at the bottom because you're new. Oh look! Okay, Boxcar Solution or Boxcar Issue may have a solution. It actually takes more. It takes logs, plastic, takes bread, that's sweet. Now this is British, the PNA flat. Obviously there's no details on it, but it is. Cheese, livestock, mail, newspaper. Okay, we don't have to worry about the crazy boxcar anymore. We can remove crazy boxcar from the equation by adding some of them. Okay, so that's at least one solution. Now we need to jump on board this beast. A beast it is, the Britannia. I was waiting to say there's a Flying Scotsman popping into there, but it's not. Right, here we go. Now, do we want a really super cool view for this? Do we actually want to do something like watch the train as it goes past? Now it could mean possibly clipping through other trains, but it's a beautiful train. There is a plane in the distance. Looks like a Junkers. I've just realised that this train could potentially be waiting to pick up full load, of which it is vastly nowhere near currently at the moment. 60 is fine. You can go with 60. Are you going to go with 60? One would imagine not. Yeah, hold on. We'll come out here and do this. Martin's Line. Right, Newcastle, you now don't have to wait for full load. You will in future, but not today. Okay, we've lost super duper awesome camera view. There it is. Yeah, look at that. It's a beast. It's awesome. Do we actually just want to look at the train, or do we want to look at other stuff that may be passing? We'll see which track it goes on, and it should head up the right hand side. Yeah, so any other train that passes. So we'll maybe pop it out a touch, because we may have Flying Scotsman's inbound. Possibly. Yeah, and if there is, they'll be on this right hand side of track. There we go, look at it. It's a beast. Actually, let's go this way a touch. Alright. We'll do drive by. Yeah, let's do it from like a side-on view. Come back a touch. There we go. That's better. Right, there we go. Right, straight through the trees, first and foremost. Gonna have to maybe adjust the camera view a little bit. There we go, through the tree. Through this guy's house on the left hand side. Past that, dodge that signal. That's sweet. That's okay, I can do this. There we go. Still no sign of any flying. Oh, wait. There's one there. But we're not gonna see it. In fact, go into the middle there. There we go. We've got passenger wagon side view. There we go. Steam disappears as it goes into the tunnel. Flying Scotsman on the left. Very nice indeed. Right, continuing on. Right, so anywho, so I'm thinking about getting a new computer. It's more of a time thing. I have a specific time I want to order it and have it delivered for, round about when this is finished. So I'd like to wrap up this series of Transport Fever 2, the current series of Anno. There is new DLC coming out for Anno, the Land of Lions, or Kingdom of Lions, Land of Lions. Something like that. So I'd like to get that finished. Possibly finish up the first iteration of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. And then have new computer for when the new series of Transport Fever 2 comes on the go. So I've got some time to sort of make decisions and stuff. So I'm not in any huge rush. Hopefully with the increased sort of hardware and software, etc., would get perhaps maybe a smoother running game, maybe. I mean, I do love mods, but I am going to have to sort of be weary that I don't sort of overload the next playthrough with a ridiculous amount of mods. Because I think that is the fatal problem that we're having now. Although running it on this view, on the side of this train, doesn't seem as weirdly stuttery as it does running at the front of the train. I actually really like this view. It's a cool view. There we go. heading up. 40 miles per hour. Oh no. 40 frames a second. 80 miles per hour. Does it get better as trains go faster? Is that a thing? It sort of looks like it. No, we're still getting weird stutter. Now there was a... Everyone thought it was to do with ship lanes to start with. And it was. Having shipping routes sort of gave you this like weird stutter and lag. And weird stutter and lag when building or configuring stations. But the devs at Urban Games patched that, I do believe. Now that's one thing we've not had. I know COVID has been an issue for lots of game developers, but we've not really had a patch for Transport Fever in some time. We've had one, but the game has now been out for a year now. You'd think there would be another one sort of on the anniversary it was released. Maybe there was. Maybe there was like smaller ones here and there that I didn't really notice. The only problem with patches though, patches sometimes screw up mods. Or especially script mods. Hopefully that won't happen when the next patch arrives. I've been really lucky in this playthrough that some of the mods that have been removed from Steam Workshop are either trains that I've not yet been able to use because of date and period wise, or ones that I have used but then upgraded them to something else and then they got removed. Here we go though, 80 miles per hour. That's a decent speed for a train, especially on a short little journey like this. We're almost at Edinburgh. There's the high rises of Edinburgh in the distance, which is nice. Now we'll probably have time for one more route. I'm thinking about doing a plane route. And actually what I wanted to do is do a plane route. I was going to do Aberdeen to London, but I've not yet set up that route. I could absolutely set it up. There's a plane in the distance that's currently about to be in free fall because it looks like it's stalling. There's no way a plane could stay in the air at that speed. It looks like it's frozen in time. Are you frozen in time? Or are you just going dead slow? Ah, I know what the issue was there. So that was that weird thing where planes don't fly through mountains in Transport Fever 2 as they did in Transport Fever 1. They sort of float or skirt above the top of them, and that plane there was skirting. It absolutely was. Right, we're almost there though. We'll see which date or year we're in. And then I may actually launch a plane. I might launch a plane from Aberdeen to London. And have it fly across the map. There we go though, we're in Edinburgh though, on our beautiful Class 7. 37 new vehicles in 1957. There we go. There's the sort of chubby tanker wagons that I was referring to. They still get stuff like this today, although they look sort of different. They've got like a dip, a curve in them. Sometimes, depends. Actually, let's see what we just won. Right there. That's not a depot, idiot. That is Steam. Anything in Steam? No. So yeah, this was the last Steam train that was made. So I don't think we're going to get any more Steam trains. Nothing for electrics, diesels. Yeah, these 10 variants of these things. The Class 20 diesel locomotive, 75 miles per hour. Right, that's decently fast, we'll say. The yellow ends, yellow warning panels, yellow warning panel, yellow ends, green, full green, yellow warning. So I think they're all in green. This one's just BR green. Full yellow ends. Okay, so it's the same train, just 10 different repaints of the same train. Passengers, let's have a look-see. Nothing, still 8 variants, it's still all the same. Cargo, right, we know these just appeared. Where are they? There they are, they're right at the top. The TTA wagon, BP livery, presented in green, available 957. Total, yep. And unbranded black. They carry 14. These carry 12. 15. But I'd prefer to use these. So, oh, there's a blue one. There's a blue one. I don't see the blue one. Is Total supposed to be in blue? Maybe. Right. Let's try electric multiple units. Nothing. Diesels. Yeah. This. 19 variants of the Class 104. Bubble in different configurations. 2 car, 1 engine. 2 car, 1 engine. BR blue with flush front. And we head down. We've got BR green. 3 car, 4 car. Yeah. So those are pretty cool. We'll be looking to run them. No information on them, which kind of sucks. Sometimes they give you information on what the train hauled, where it was made, what line it ran on, when it ran from, etc, etc. But no such luck for that. Right. Autosave is doing its thing. Whilst autosave is doing its thing, we shall have a look at this. Was there a new plane? No. So our DC-4. Buy one of those. Yes. Oh, I can't buy it because autosave is on the go. Come on, buddy. Right, that is there. Now what we want to do is create a new route from Aberdeen, which is now quite a busy airport, and go all the way down the map to London. Okay, there's a lot of crap here. Woofed. Right, who's got right this? Go to there. Cambridge South. I need to go back to Aberdeen. I need to launch that plane. Right, so go to ABS. Get you on line 1. Yes. And I'll rename it and stuff later. Right, it's going to take a hot minute to get out. There it is though. Very nice indeed. Airfield hangar. Now there was in the Steam Workshop general aviation, a general aviation sort of airport mod as well, which looked really cool. And because there are some like Cessnas and smaller light aircraft, some general aviation aircraft on Steam, and some of them I do have downloaded, I might add a few GA airports as well here and there. Because why the hell not? Now there's a Junkers landing there. 25 or 30 ABS Stornoway. Your ABS Glasgow. Now we're into May. Is this going to take 3 years to get there? There's nice. That's nice. There we go. DC-3 landing. Again, probably going at a stallion speed there. Not very fast at all. Please tell me you're going to London. You are. Well, Cambridge. Right, but let's jump on board with this. Do we want a sort of different view? Maybe a wing view? Right, that's going to be irritating. Cockpit view? Or just full on Landing gear view. But let's go back. Yeah, let's go back. Landing gear view. Flaps are, we'll say, fully extended there. That seems a bit severe. I think speed brake sort of flaps. Oh well. Flaps at a 90-degree configuration. Is that a thing? Who the hell knows? But here we go though. Underside of plane view. I mean, once the flaps and gear retract, we'll be okay. It's apparently doing 60 miles per hour. Could have fooled me. Looks like it's doing about 4 miles per hour. Right, gear, well, nose up. And the wheels just stop. Maybe they do. Is that a thing that happens in planes? I can't remember. Right, up to speed. Flap should go up at like, what, 100? You are slowing down. You may be... well, I suppose planes heading to London from Aberdeen do often head north. They can take off to the north or to the south, but if they were heading up, yeah, they do sometimes swing out right towards the North Sea, and sometimes they swing in left to the east. Or to the west. Yeah, if you're heading north, yeah, left would be west. This one's heading out to the east. It wouldn't come this far up north. Up here you'd have like fishing towns like Fraserburgh and Peterhead. That would be right on this section of coast below us. But it'll be interesting to fly over some of the stuff and see what there is. I don't think we're going to get there within the 3-year time limit. I mean, it's taken an age just to do this one turn. Flaps are still fully extended, which I think is weird. It obviously must have to reach its altitude and then it'll go up. Wow, this turn is taking an age. Is it going to fly over, just fly over the sea? I was hoping it would fly over the land. I love waypoints for planes. Said this many times. I don't know how difficult it would be to create something like that. Yeah, this is going to fly over the sea until it hits about New Berwick upon Tweed, and then it's going to start flying over the land again. I suppose Aberdeen is just below us. It's cool that you even see the shadow of the plane. That is something really cool. There we go, we can see some of the trains. I mean, there's the northeastern line. Which way are you going? Yeah, you're heading across the ocean. There's the Firth of Forth, the Tay River there as well, beside Dundee. Now, I'm pretty sure this has a top speed of more than 86. I think it's still on its climb. I would love to do a sort of at the races with planes. It would be pretty easy to do, one would imagine, I think. If you just get the planes lined up on the runway, bang on when they stop at 0, and then just push play, I'm pretty sure you could allow them to go and then reach the other side. Right, 86. Flaps are still down. I was counting on this thing being, let's say, fleet. Faster. Is that airspeed or ground speed? Because 86 seems hell of a slow. We have trains that do 100 miles per hour. I thought this thing was going to be the fastest thing on the map. Ah, right, just leveling off. Right, so nose comes down. Now do flaps go up? Yes, there we go. We're increasing speed, 92, 93. Right, so trim the nose down. Retract your flaps. Because there's no way they would stay in this configuration during the cruising speed. There they go. And now we're speeding up. Thank God. To what speed I've no idea. Is taking a wide 160. Is that your top speed? No, it's more than that. 200. 210. And it's quite a long distance, so it should be able to get up to whatever top speed it has. Weirdly, it looks like it might be starting its descent already. I mean, even though that took a hell of a long time to execute that turn and get up to cruising altitude, it's a hell of a lot quicker than it is in real life. It's about an hour to get from Aberdeen to London. Or is it 2 hours? Can't remember. It's been so long since I've done it. Actually, I did one not long ago. Southend-on-Sea to Aberdeen. There we go, though. We're heading back over the land. I can see some trains in the distance. I doubt if you guys will be able to see them. I can. I can see other planes in the distance as well. Where we're flying over? York, and then over past Hull. Hull should probably have an airport, because it's Humberside Airport. Which is not a huge airport, but it's pretty decent for what it is. As always, it has a flight to Humberside to Amsterdam. I did actually try to get panned off with that flight once. Tried to fly me from Humberside Airport to Amsterdam, Aberdeen, because it was £8 cheaper to do that than it was to go on the direct flight from Humberside to Aberdeen. I could not believe it. After a swift phone call, well, there was a discussion within the crew. Some guys actually wanted to go to Amsterdam because there was an 8-hour wait. Now, I was kind of up for it as well, because you arrive at Schiphol, exit the airport, which is a pest, but your bags go straight through, so you don't have to contend with them. Just exit the airport, jump on the train, go on Amsterdam, have a few beers, get back on the train, back into the airport an hour or two before your flight leaves. So you get like something like 4 or 5 hours drinking in Amsterdam. I've heard of guys doing that before, but at this current time I was just off a night shift, and I was like, no way, I want to go home. So it was a flight over to Holland, wait for 8 hours, and then get a flight to Aberdeen, or like a 50-minute flight from Humberside back to Aberdeen, and then an hour's drive to my house. So like a 2.5 hour trip, contended with something like a 12-hour trip. So the £8 was paid, and we were put onto the the direct flight. It's pretty insane. That's how bad oil companies will actually go to save money. So, and I've actually heard of stuff a lot worse. In fact, I've been on a lot worse. I went on a tour of Europe one time just to get back from Norway, and there is a direct flight from Stavanger to Aberdeen. But no, I went to Germany, flew to Germany. No, it's a lie. I flew to Denmark, then I flew to Germany, and then I flew to Paris, Charles de Gaulle, and then I got a flight from Charles de Gaulle to Aberdeen, which was apparently cheaper going through those 4 countries, and then getting the Scandinavian Air Services flight from Aberdeen to Stavanger. And it was also quicker because I would have had to wait at Stavanger Airport for something like 13 hours for the flight. So I was actually home quicker, but it was a full-on trains, planes, and automobiles just to get home. So it's something I did once because I thought it'd be better because I would get home quicker. But it's a lesson I've learned that I will never do anything like that again. It's direct flight or nothing for me. But we are approaching London now. We've got what's that, like 15 flaps? 15, not full flaps, not those 90-degree speed brakes that we had during takeoff. But there is Cambridge there. So this flight did not turn out as one would imagine. If it had hung the left and headed west out Aberdeen, we would have flew over everything and seen everything. But she did not. She went east. Took 50 years to get up to... Actually, we'll be able to check. So we were in 1957 when the plane departed Aberdeen. What year is it going to be when it lands in Cambridge? If it lands in 1961, so be it. We'll leave it 1961. If it goes way past that, then I'll cut it back to at least 1961. Or what we'll do is we'll investigate to see which vehicles are available, and then we'll maybe leave it in 1960 or 1961. Because I did skip forward from 1950 to 1951, because I knew that in 1951 there were a lot more BR liveried coaches available, and I wanted the coaches so I could upgrade all the steam trains in a one-hour and not have to do it at the start of this next 10 years or next couple of episodes. We can just get straight on to building new stuff. Right, so here we go, landing. There's a coal train. There's Henry. Yeah, Henry, pretty prominent there. Still in LMS green. I could probably change it up to BR livery and paint it green. I might do that. I'll do that off. Ooh, major traffic jam between Cambridge and Southend-on-Sea. There we go. Here she goes in for a landing. No one uses this airport yet. I still have not even created bus routes from sort of Cambridge to the airport, and that would get us a lot more people, I think, one would imagine. It looks like there's a Bristol. This seems dangerous. I mean, it's like 1960, so I mean, by today's standard, having a plane take off about 30 feet away from you. Oh, it's just landed. Bristol's just landed, okay. There we go, though. Touchdown in London. Dink. Very nice. Right, guesses for our date. 1959. That's not too bad. So we've got some new vehicles, though. We shall 3 times speed it. So we've got some more BR Green liveries. BR Green Variation 2. So there's different variations of BR Green. Right, while we're here though, let's have a look. We've got the Canada Air, but Canada Air cannot be launched from a small airport. Absolutely not. It's going to have to be a large airport. If I can find a large area where there's nothing. There's nothing here, right? And you're relatively flat. Now, this is just for... Wait, how big is this? It's not actually as huge as I remember it. Just buy it for the moment, right? We will delete it. I just want to go into the hangar, buy vehicles. Right, large. We've got a few in large. We've obviously got the Concorde. Build date. The BA Pepsi. Which is pretty cool. We're not going to use the BA Pepsi in 1968. But we've got the Constellation, which is cool. So I might start upgrading some of the airports. The Canadair, which is all cargo. So it takes people as well, apparently. And it will take 81 in 3 compartments, which is a hell of a lot better than what its standard thing was. But we'll remove that. Yeah, refunds. I lost 4 million quid building that. That's actually not too bad. Right, let's have a look at trains. And we still have 1 year to go. But yeah, our steam is all sort of done and dusted. Did lose a couple from the top, maybe 1 or 2. These apparently run until 1960, so they're going to go. This one 1961, 1966 apparently, 64, 60. Yeah, we're going to lose these, the Lively Polys. 1962, 1963, 1963, 1960. You're going to go 1962. So most of these were nearing their sort of the end of their lifespan. 1963. Yeah, most of the South, no, the London South Western Railway stuff is mostly gone. The Greyhound being the only survivor there. 1975. This is all stuff should all be sort of later. 66. 1960. We're going to lose the B-17. 85. 63. 68, 75. Right, so that's them though. Right, 15 variants of this now. Wow. Wow, right, just some more added in BR green. So we've got black, blue, and green. This stuff, 71. Diesels. Right, so we've got that. This, 1970. 2 variants of that, which we know. The NOHAB. 10 variants of that. We've got the Peak. Midland, mainland, elsewhere. They were known as Peaks because the first 10 locomotives were named after mountains. Scaffold Peak. Right, these are cool. I'm looking forward to using them. Passengers. Looks like we've lost a few passenger wagons. These went to 1960. These 1965. The small Gresley teak coaches we're not really going to use. 1975. 1906 to 2100. Yeah, I think because some of these were restored. 1968. Yes, we should have most of these. Yeah, from 1937 till the end of time. So we'll have them. The Mach 1 coaches. Cargo. Right, we've got our fuels. They're good. We've got our PNA flat, which answers at least some of our problems. No electrical multiple unit. And 24 variants of this. From 1957, basically till the end of time. Until current year. So the 104. Green variation 2 and green variation 1. What's the difference? We'll have to buy a couple and actually figure out what the difference is. But those are trains. We might get some in 1968. We'll keep looking around. Now I know we've got a bus, some vehicles. There is a depot in Leicester. I don't know where it is. Leicester Road Depot, buy vehicles. Right, go passenger. So we've got the Benz, Mercedes-Benz 66. Well, Benz O 6600. Cargo. We've got some new Volvos. 43 miles per hour, 22 capacity. So they are pretty cool. We'll definitely be throwing them onto a line. So that's road vehicles. We've looked at planes, road vehicles. I don't think there's a new tram. Where did I get trams from again? Right, for where's the tram line? Tram line is there, so it must be near here or on this route. There it is. Now, the ATM 4000 was the last one. It ran until 2010. So it must have been quite a reliable thing if they kept it for so long. Right, we're into November. Let's check ships by vehicles. Okay, we've definitely got some new ships. We've got the cool little ferries that I'd like to use. Let's go passenger. We've still got the Zurich. We've got the Explorer. We're running that on a line. Ferry type 603. So these I think are Russians. People in cars in areas without bridges. Okay, we've got the old school, what do you call it? The sailing ship. And we've got one of these, which is another passenger ferry, capacity 30, top speed. Okay, right, 1959, December. I probably don't need as much of these on here now. Yeah, they were losing a fair shake of money. This one is still loading. This one okay? Yeah. Right, so we're almost there. December 23rd, the countdown is on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. 1960. 22 vehicles available. Right, the de Havilland, so we know there's a plane, and we've got some steam, some Duchesses in different liveries, and in BR black, and we've got the class 37. Oh, there's a lot there, actually. Crap. Right, go back to here. Passenger, nada. Same. Cargo, Axalp, is that the one we're currently using? Yes. Let's just check it, because it should have it. Yeah, an Axalp. Right, so that's that. Let's just do this quickly. Right, the de Havilland we know we need a big airport for Ipswich Road, cargo. The Bedford. Hey, that's a proper British truck right there. A General Post Office, later British Telecom version used for installing telegraph poles, was known as the Polecat. And it takes mail. Sweet. Okay. So we could be replacing the Benzes and stuff. Pretty sharpish. Right, we'll quickly check that tram depot. I don't think there's a tram though. In fact, that's a road depot. In fact, was there a bus? Buy vehicles. No, we're still on the ATM. That's fine. We are passengers. Yeah, we're fine for buses. Right, so that's road vehicles, ships and planes. We've all checked. In fact, buy vehicles. Passenger. Yeah, right, we're all good there. And the de Havilland was obviously something. Right, buy vehicles, steam. Right, so the Duchesses and that are still on the go. Yeah, 4 variants. Yeah, BR Black, Express Blue, Green and Maroon. I think we've got them already. I think, maybe. Electrics. The series, that's Austrian. I was going to say Swiss there, but it's Austrian. Right, we've got the Peaks in 5 variants. Scaffold Peak, Pangent, Variant 1, Variant 2 and Variant 3. The British Rail Class O2, a little shunting. Diesel there, little yard diesel. PR, what's the difference? 44 and 45. Ah, this one does 90. So they managed to eke another 15 miles per hour out of the Series 45. Right, the Class 37. In only 2 liveries for the moment, but it looks like we're going to get a hell of a lot more. It did 90 miles per hour as well. I thought they were slower. Who knows? Passengers. No, we're all good here. Cargo. The PNA flat on these. Electric, multiple units, no. Diesel, 29 variants. Yeah, we're all good for that. Hey, we've got these in a consist as well. And them. But we'll leave it there for that episode. There we are in 1960. As always, if you did, we'll just follow this train. Why the hell not? As always, if you did watch this and you'd like to leave a like, comment, or dislike, please feel free to do so. And if there's more you'd like to see in the future, then hit a subscribe button. But I've been Danny Boy, and this has been Transport Fever 2 on the UK map, and I will catch you later.